You've spent lifetimes trying to prove your worth. You've shaped yourself into the image the world would love, or at least the image it would not reject. This is the wound, the shadow of pride. It hides beneath confidence, beneath skill, beneath all the places you've learned to shine. But if you look closely, there's a hunger underneath. A hunger to be seen, to be valued, to be validated. And this is not evil, beloved. It is simply the child's cry, echoing through the corridors of adulthood. Pride whispers, if they see how great I am, they will never leave me. If I impress them, they won't see how afraid I am. If I stay shining, I'll never feel small again. But there's a cost. The cost is authenticity. The cost is connection. The cost is that quiet peace that only comes from being known. Not for what you do, but for who you are. Pride keeps you performing long after the show has ended. It's the mask you wear when you've forgotten your own face. And yet, it was once a sacred protector. It carried you through seasons where truth felt too dangerous. It taught you how to hold your head up high when shame wanted you to disappear. It gave you just enough light to survive your own shadow. So don't judge it. Don't banish it. Bow to it. Pride is the guardian of a heart that once felt unseen. And every time it flares, it's not arrogance you're witnessing. It's fear, dressed up to look strong. Can you see it now? Can you feel how tender that is? When you find yourself exaggerating, defending, boasting, or tightening your chest, just pause. That's not you being bad. That's your younger self, your inner child, trying to make sure you're still safe here. He doesn't need correction. He needs presence. She needs love. She needs to hear you whisper. You don't have to prove anything anymore. I already see you. That is how you begin to soften pride. Not through punishment, but through witnessing. Because when you see yourself clearly, there's nothing left to prove. And from the ashes of pride rises the gift of artfulness. It is what happens when the performer steps off the stage and starts creating from the soul. Artfulness is still charisma, still magnetism, still mastery of human energy. But now it flows from authenticity, not defense. You no longer manipulate perception. You sculpt connection. You no longer posture. You play. You no longer hide your intention. You let it be art. This gift knows how to read a room, how to weave words like silk, how to make others feel seen, but it no longer needs to take. It gives. Your gift, beloved, is your ability to enchant, to tell stories, to teach through metaphor, to move emotion through language. You're meant to persuade, not for power, but for healing. When you walk into a space anchored in your heart, the whole field shifts. People soften, walls melt, and suddenly truth can be spoken in ways that no one resists. That's the magic of artfulness. It's truth wearing a cloak of beauty. It knows that the world learns not through being told, but through being touched. So you touch souls with your words. You weave energy with your tone. You move light through conversation. And when you do it consciously, without the need for validation, you awaken others. Every manipulation transforms into a sacred craft. Every prideful defense turns into embodied artistry. You become an alchemist, turning ego into elegance. Remember this. Your voice can open hearts or close them. Your truth can wound or liberate. And the difference is whether you're speaking to be admired or to be of service. The gift of artfulness asks for devotion to honesty. It doesn't mean you tell everything. It means you tell it beautifully. Let your speech become ceremony. Let your silence become present, and let your life become art. This is what happens when pride releases its grip and the artist inside finally exhales. There's a point where even artfulness dissolves, where the artist and the art become one. Here, there is no agenda, no performance, no mask. You are seen not because you stand out, but because your essence radiates quietly through everything that you do. This is invisibility, the highest expression. It's not about disappearing. It's about becoming transparent enough for the divine to shine through. And when you reach this place, your ego no longer needs applause. Your presence itself becomes medicine. You speak less, but what you say echoes deeply. You move gently, but your movement changes the air. You love silently, but your love transforms all those who touch it. This is true mastery. Not the loud kind, but the kind that humbles mountains. You don't need to convince anyone anymore. You simply are, and that's enough. Invisibility doesn't mean erasure. It means you've become so aligned that there's no separation between you and life itself. Your boundaries dissolve into belonging. Your will merges with the whole. You're not trying to shine. You've become the light. From here, everything you do carries grace. Even your mistakes, they become poetry. Even your silences, they carry instruction. It's a paradox, because the more invisible you become, the more impactful your presence is. Because what's moving through you is no longer just you. It's the vastness, using your form as a channel. And it all began with that one tender act. When you started seeing through your own pride and choosing love instead of validation. That choice was the portal. So, dear one, when you feel that familiar need to prove, pause, breathe. When you want to impress or explain yourself or make sure everyone knows you're enough, take a breath. You don't need to be impressive to be sacred. You don't need to be understood to be real. You only need to remember that everything you seek already lives within you. So let humility become your homecoming. Let laughter melt the tension. And let truth move through you like a song. You were never meant to compete. You were meant to create. You were never meant to perform. You were meant to transmit. This is your art. This is your medicine. To turn the need for attention into the gift of expression. To turn the shadow of pride into the radiance of authenticity. The journey here is not about hiding your light. It's about remembering that the light was never yours to own. It moves through you. It breathes through you. And it speaks as you. And the moment you stop trying to control it, you become it. So go on. Create. Speak. Serve. And love. But do it for the joy of giving, not the thrill of being seen. Let the divine do its work through you. And watch as life itself becomes your standing ovation. That's the quiet beauty of this path. The one who once sought the spotlight now becomes the light itself. I love you.